Live from the local station, this is a Weather Authority alert.
Good morning, I'm Bruce Hamilton. Florida Governor Rick Scott about to address the state of emergency in 11 Florida counties. Let's listen.
I just declared a state of emergency in 34 counties that looks like they'll get the brunt of Tropical Storm Colin. We just had a briefing from the National Hurricane Center and National Weather Service. We had our local emergency management teams on the phone. So we all got the same briefing to make sure we don't have any unmet needs. This weekend, we activated our Emergency Management Center right here in Tallahassee, and I know around the states the counties are doing the same thing, activating. Colin's a broad-based storm. It's going about 16 miles an hour, sort of northeast. It looks like it'll hit our land somewhere late this afternoon or early evening. It's broad-based. Don't follow the track of the storm. Look more the damage, the flooding, whatever the rain is going to be to the east. We're expecting some storm surge. Right now it appears the storm surge will be at our low tide, which is positive. We're expecting 3 to 5 inches of rain, as much as 8 inches of rain around the state. But again, more of it's going to be to the east. What it means is people from all over our state should follow this. It's going to impact, pretty much our entire state. Where we have the risk of tornadoes, lightning, hail, rip currents, all these issues. We're going to continue to monitor the storm at the state level and at the local level. We'll continue to have calls with our emergency management teams around the state. We have notified our National Guard, and so we have the potential to activate 6,000 National Guard members around the state. I've been talking to our utilities, our sheriffs, and other elected officials around our state to make sure we are solving any needs they might have. We have storm shelters ready if we need them, but every person in our state needs to follow this and be prepared. This is the beginning of hurricane season. We live in a peninsula state. It's important for everybody to think about these things and follow what's going on. If you don't need to go out, especially as the rain gets heavier later this afternoon, don't go out. Be prepared. Follow your local news. If you have any concerns about whether there's going to be any flooding in your area, as you follow your local news, have water, have your food, have a radio that you can listen to if you're worried about losing power. Right now, we're doing what we should do, just like what we do with a hurricane, just like what we do with Zika. We get prepared, and when we get prepared, we do a better job. So every family has to get prepared. But we have an executive order. We can extend from the 34 counties if we need to. Our National Guard is ready. Our state emergency management team is ready. Our counties are ready. And we're going to continue to monitor this. But every family's got to monitor it. I'm glad to answer any questions anybody has.
Leon County is not included in the 34 counties, I believe. Is there any reason for that? And you consider closing state government or the universities here?
So we're following the counties based on the information for the National Weather Service and National Hurricane Center, and we'll look at state buildings. We'll monitor that all day long.
What do you say to people living in the lowest of the low-lying areas, Franklin County, Meade County, and so forth?
Well, start with the storm surge. Be careful if you're going to be close to the Gulf, because we're going to see storm surge. Right now, they're anticipating the storm surge will be at our low tide, which is positive, but focus there first. Then as we get the rain, if you're close to any spots that historically have seen any flooding, make sure you follow that. Follow your local weather service. You can talk to your local emergency management teams. We have a great state one. We also have good local ones also.
The Skyway Bridge is closed. What about the closing of roads?
We will. That's good. That's being done locally. It's all based on how much rain we're going to get if we're seeing any flooding. As you know, in the executive order, we're ready for evacuation plans if we need them.
This is not a major storm. It is a storm to be concerned for sure, but is there a danger here? People will look at this storm, and the next time something more powerful is coming, they may misbehave or not react properly.
Well, we've been blessed. We haven't had a hurricane in about 10 years, and so a lot of people have moved to our state and never gone through one, and a lot of people probably haven't gone through a tropical storm. But if you remember back in 2012. I think it was Isaac that went west, and we didn't think it would hurt us, and we saw all that rain over in Palm Beach. We had, they said, almost 100-year flooding over there in western Palm Beach. So everybody's got to watch this and see what these bands of rains do around our state.
What's the potential for severe thunderstorms and tornadoes? I know the folks on the East Coast are worried about that.
Well, we'll see that as we follow this through. But we have the risk of tornadoes. We have the risk of lightning, hail. If you're going to be close to the water, we're going to have rip currents. So we have the risk of all those things. So follow and watch your local news.
Governor, this storm will produce a massive amount of standing water, and as you know, standing water means mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Are you prepared to do anything more than you've been doing in terms of preparation for Zika? Sure. You have billions of dollars in reserve funds in your budget.
Sure. Well, first off, the positive right now is this is a fast-moving storm. So it's not going to be like Debbie was back in, I think that was 2012. So it's not going to sit over the state right now. That's not what they anticipate. At the same time, we have to get prepared for Zika. Our health department's doing the right things. Our state health department, our counties are doing the right things. Our mosquito boards are doing the right thing. We're going to do the right thing. It is frustrating that Congress went on vacation. As we all know, Zika's not going to go on vacations. Beginning of summer, beginning of hurricane season, we're going to see all this rain. So that's disappointing. As you know, I sent a letter to the White House. The White House they have funds of the federal government that they could direct. We were very specific at what our needs were, whether it's insecticides, whether it's personnel, whether it's mosquito traps, whether it's protective gear. They should fulfill those needs right now.
You said on Fox on Friday that the state is spending money to prepare for Zika. How are you spending that money?
Well, it's right now. It's Department of Agriculture, it's Department of Health, it's county health departments, and then locally the mosquito boards are spending money. But again, the federal government ought to do their part. I mean, this is going to impact Zika is going to impact our entire country. If you look at hurricane season, rain, we've got the Olympics coming up. And we already have a child now in New Jersey that's impacted, has the side effects of Zika. We watch issues that are going on in Puerto Rico or Brazil. The federal government needs to show up and do their job.
On a storm like this, everybody seems to focus so much on the point of landfall. This thing is a big sprawling mess. I mean, for folks concerned about their particular area, what should they be watching for? The risks in different parts of the state.
Don't look at the path. Look primarily, there'll be some to the west, but primarily to the east of this path. So the only way you're going to know this is you have to follow your local news. But the rain is primarily going to be to the east. Now, we are going to see storm surge, but you're going to have risk of tornadoes, you're going to have risk of hail, you're going to have risk of lightning, you're going to have, if you're close to the coast, rip currents. So follow it locally, but don't just follow the path of this.
What presents a greater risk right now to the state? Are you more worried about Zika, or are you more worried about the coming hurricane season? I know that we had the hurricane conference a few weeks ago in Orlando, and you actually had left that to go to Orlando or to go to D.C. to try and get money from the PHS.
It's both. I mean, this is a state that knows how to get prepared. We're going to do our part. The feds need to do their part. So we have a very good Department of Health. We have good mosquito boards around our state. So we are getting, in Department of Agriculture, we are getting ready for Zika. The feds should do their part. They shouldn't have gone on vacation without funding Zika. Congress shouldn't. Zika's not going on vacation. Now, at the same time, we're going to follow a tropical storm, we're going to follow a hurricane, we're going to follow all the weather, and we're going to do the right thing, whether it's the National Guard, whether it's emergency management teams, whether it's the local elected officials, we're going to do the right things in our state.
The state of emergency, what does that allow the counties to do or the state to do that wouldn't otherwise take place?
Well, there's a variety of things that you can do. I mean, it talks about how you can change evacuation plans, if you need to get rid of tolls. There's certain laws that you can say if it impacts the ability to solve any emergency, you don't have to comply with those laws right now. Make sure there's not going to be anybody charging too much, price gouging, things like that.
The way the storm developed pretty quickly and over the weekend when maybe not as many people weren't paying attention, can this be and maybe Mr. Kuhn could chime in as well, a learning opportunity this early on in the hurricane season to alert people that maybe haven't been through one that this is what it's like and it can be worse?
Well, first off, and I'll turn it over to Brian, but first off, this is pretty early to have 3 named storms. So I think it might be the earliest that we've had 3 named storms. So everybody's got to take this seriously. But you have to, we're going to do our part. The state's going to do their part. I'm sure the local management teams are going to do their, emergency management teams are going to do their part. But every family's got to do their part. I mean, follow the news. Don't go out, don't drive through standing water. Don't go outside if you don't need to go outside. Don't get out of your house. Have water, have food, have radio that you can listen to the National Weather Service with batteries. If you have somebody that needs medication, have enough medication on hand. Know if you think you're going to need a shelter, know where the shelters are. Do all those things to get prepared. So hopefully this will not, we won't have significant issues here, but we do have risk.
Thanks, Governor. And the governor's correct. I mean, this is the 6th day of hurricane season. We're already on our 3rd named storm. That's not necessarily an indicator of what the rest of the season will look like, but it does give you pause. And should serve as, I think, a wake-up call to Floridians that, it's been a while, but this could be the season we're going to have more impacts than we've had in the past. But the governor's right. Take some simple steps right now. Get ready for the remainder of hurricane season. As you mentioned, this storm is going to go through fairly quickly. But there's, if you change a couple of things, if this storm were a little bit slower, the rainfall rates would be higher. If the storm were a little bit stronger, the storm surge would be high. You change a couple of minor things and this storm could be much worse. The next storm could be much worse. And so we want people to use this as a reminder. Hurricane season is here. Do those few simple things now to get ready for the rest of the season.
Brian or Governor, it doesn't, to me, maybe it doesn't seem like there's been as much hoopla about the coming storm season. I know that the media have covered it the way that they kind of do, but I know that even the event they had in Orlando, there weren't that many media there. Do you feel like the complacency level's gotten to a critical point? Or is there any concern there that people are really just saying that we're all hurricane experts, so we know what to do?
I think that we have a lot of people who moved into our state since the last hurricane. We've been blessed, knock on wood, we've been blessed that we haven't had a hurricane or significant issues. We have had flooding the last few years, especially if you look at some of the Debbie and then some of the flooding we've had in the Pensacola area. So we have had some areas impacted. But I think all of us, people tend to get complacent if something doesn't happen. But we need to follow this. This is a, hopefully we won't have significant damage out of this, but we have to follow all of our local weather. If you want to add anything, Brian?
I concur with the governor. Since the last landfalling hurricane in the state, millions of new Floridians have joined us. And so we want those folks to be aware that this is what hurricane season looks like. You need to be ready. As you mentioned earlier, this storm, we had a couple of days to get ready for it. The next one may be the same thing. So spend the time now, get ready for it. So because the next time you may not have the same level of advance notice.
Director Kuhn or Governor, please, what determined what counties are in the executive order umbrella and what counties are not? Wakulla's an emergency county. Leon, right next door, is not. How was that determined? We
relied on what the National Weather Service, the National Hurricane Center was telling us, but we have the ability to add more counties if we need to. And we'll continue to monitor it. We monitored it, the last few days, and we're going to continue to monitor it today. And if we need to add any counties, we will.
What's the thinking process about asking for federal assistance on this? Is that
because we have to? It's tied to how much damage we have and how much damage we would have at statewide level and how much damage we have per county.
Is there a threshold? Is that quantifiable?
I mean, yeah, we can go through the numbers.
Well, it is quantifiable. It's generally based on a threshold for public assistance on a statewide level and at a county level. Generally, Florida needs to have about $26.5 million of uninsured damage for the state to be eligible for presidential disaster declaration. And for individual assistance, it's based on the number of homes that are either destroyed or have significant major impacts. So again, we would not know anything like that till later on in the week once the storm has passed.
Any other questions?
Governor Rick Scott, 11 Florida counties here in the northeast portion of the state have been declared under a state of emergency, 34 statewide. What that does is it frees the state to go to the federal government and ask for funding should there be more than $26.5 million in uninsurable damage statewide. It's a preemptive measure. You heard the governor talk about the fact that you shouldn't look at the storm's track. You should look at what's going to happen on the east side of the storm, which is where the worst can happen. He says right now, it may not seem that it's going to be that bad, but you have to prepare and you have to measure the risk and be ready for any eventuality.